tequila tastes weird, Coop.
I know, you just said it tastes weird, now you're drinking more of it.
Well, I want to make sure. Did it taste weird?
I drank some of that earlier, and if it tastes...
Was it fine?
I mixed it. I mixed it up with the Cardomax, so I couldn't really...
You couldn't tell.
Yeah.
It doesn't even smell strong.
Do we have a teenager working here at the studio?
Maybe.
Water
down the tequila.
Got into mom and dad's liquor cabinet, drank a little bit too much, had to water it down. I used to do that when I was a kid.
Iconoblast. We put the past on blast. Hit 'em with the truth, with things you never knew. Nobody is safe, no thing to place. Got Joel and Coop with history in your face. Iconoblast.
Did you know in the Czech Republic, when you have a kid, the government pays for you to stay at home for 2 years minimum? 2 to 5. Your choice.
2 fucking years?
You can pick. You can pick 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, or 5 years. And it's the same amount of money, but you can pick to get it all in 2 years, or spread it out over 5.
Sort of like the way they pay out the lottery or something.
Yeah, like that.
Yeah, they get a lump
But yeah,
sum.
if you have a kid, boom, you just can stay home for 2 years with your kid and it's enough to pay all your bills and everything.
What if you spread it out over 5 years, though?
Probably a little less than your bills, right? But
I mean, I would imagine so.
Yeah, pretty cool. And they have baby mailboxes. Did I already say this?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I don't know if you
I
said
like
it on the
that a
show.
lot.
I know you told me about it.
They
You
have
can just-
baby
you can
mailboxes.
just dump a baby anytime you're ready.
Yeah.
That's an idea I can get behind.
Yeah. Here you have to like take it to the fire department or something.
Yeah, but who has time for that?
Well, you have to, it's embarrassing. They see you, you drop it off, unless you do it at night.
Who's going to dump their kid in the middle of the day aside from me if I had the chance?
Dude, if they had mailboxes, I'd have a kid just to try it out. Like just to fucking just to put it in there. It's awesome.
Go grab somebody else's baby and dump it in there.
Shove it
Like,
in
this
there.
is so easy. Just running through the park, grabbing little kids.
It really is like that though. Like it's a fucking pull drawer. It looks like a wall and there's a big metal frame and you pull it out, you put the baby in, put it back. And you don't have to talk to anybody. No one has to know.
What they need to do is they need to make that more fun. So you know how they have some of those
Put a bomb in it.
Well, no,
No.
no. In the baby, come on.
Put a bomb in the baby. Put the baby in there with a bomb in it. Now we're talking fun.
No. I was saying what they should do is like some of those vending machines where you put a coin in and it goes like through all this Rube Goldberg contraption.
Oh, yeah. Those are cool.
Put that in one of the baby boxes so you get to stand back and watch your baby slide down all these little chutes and
like
ladders.
in Jackass with Wee Man when he falls down that. They made one. Like
yeah,
a
and
full-size one.
then when it hits the bottom, you get to collect a bunch of tickets and take that inside the place
And get it.
Get yourself a
Get
koosh
new
ball.
Baby.
Trade one in, you get another baby.
That'd be cool if you got to pick. Like you put your baby in, and then if you want, you could take one of the other babies that was dropped off.
Leave a baby, take a baby. It's like those penny trays at the convenience store.
Fuck, that'd be cool. If there was a place where you could just go grab a baby. Well, I guess they have that. It's called adoption, but takes a little more
But you
work.
can't trade one in and grab. Can you? Can you trade one in and take another
Well,
one?
technically you could, right?
I would like to see somebody go in and be like, hey, I wanted to trade this baby in for a different model. This one,
Well, you'd
this
have
one
to
just
do
cries
it. Like
too
you'd
much.
have to look at the rules, and you'd have to give up your baby, right? Like how you do, however you do that legally.
Oh, legally. I was going to say
Yeah.
dumpster, but
Well, yeah, but if you did it, what would be fucking great is if you legally do it, so it's documented, and then like literally at the same time you're trying to adopt a baby, and then you time it where you get rid of yours and adopt one like on the same day.
you walk outside, accidentally drop it, bring it back in, and be
Yeah.
like, hey, can I trade this one in? It's got a dent, or can I get a discount on this one?
This one's weird.
It's dented. Intro.
Weird. Yeah, intro.
Intro. Welcome to the Iconoblast podcast. This is the show that takes a look behind the public facades of famous icons to show you I can never take anything at face value. And apparently we also talk about leave a baby, take a baby.
Yeah.
My name is Cooper, and with me, as always, is Joel Benner.
Well,
So
That
as
was
usual,
Spanish for
this
hello,
is our
case.
first show of 2022.
oh yeah. Happy
Very-
New Year,
very
Coop.
Happy New Year.
How was your New Year's?
It was good. I hung out over at my lovely girlfriend's lovely apartment with her lovely dogs and one of her lovely friends. Adam Hester from the Skeleton Factory podcast
yeah.
was there. We all got shit-faced drunk off we were drinking spiked hot chocolate, and I also got some really good old-fashioned mix, some
Hell yeah.
old-fashioned, some bitters, and some fancy
Made some
spherical
fancy
ice
cocktails.
cubes. Once again, something else that my girlfriend bought me. I seriously underperformed for this Christmas. She got me like 5 times as much shit as I got her.
I'm lucky, and my lady is anti-Christmas like me, so we didn't buy each other anything.
Oh, that's a cop-out.
No, we had an un-Christmas.
Un-Christmas. So does that mean you went through some sort of ritual where you pushed Jesus back into the Virgin Mary?
We
Cool.
did exactly that, but I used my
An
dick.
unbirthing.
Yeah.
What, so you robbed a manger of a little baby Jesus figurine and then...
Fucked it. Yeah, it's weird, but it's it's tradition.
Europeans, man.
Yeah, they're weird, man.
It's so strange that we're their descendants. Well, 2021 didn't end very well for everybody. 2021 ended a little bit early for one person in particular, and
The day before her birthday.
About 17 or 18 days before her birthday. But that's who we're going to be talking about today, allegedly. From my perspective. I got a couple requests from listeners to do this episode, and it turns out it's going to be a two-parter because the subject of today's episode had a very eventful life. And
She's sweet.
She is very sweet.
She's an angel.
Well, now she is.
She's an angel. Coop.
Okay, she's an angel.
She's dead.
She's flipping off angels now.
She's blowing angels now.
Have some respect. She's only been there for a handful of days. It's only hand jobs at this point.
What else could you say about her before saying her name, so people can try to guess? Well, we're gonna have a thumbnail and stuff.
Yeah,
And a title, but
I don't think people are going to need to guess by now.
yeah, we all know who it is.
2021 had one final fuck you in store for us before slithering into the depths of history to join other terrible years gone by. On December 31st, Betty White passed away at the age of 99, less than 20 days before her 100th birthday. That was actually pretty
She's
upset
100 years
too.
old.
Well, 99 years old, almost 100.
Well,
give
closer
her,
to 100
give or
than
take
99.
Give or take 18 days or 17 days. She was closer to 100 than 99. So if you round up, she made it to 100 years old.
yeah, it was like, so it was 99 years and fucking 11 months,
Mm-hmm.
and 8 days.
A little more. Sure. I don't feel like doing the math right now. This Basil Hayden's is treating me real well, so I'm not gonna.
I
math
love this
very well
new
right
whiskey coupe. It's
I've-
never happened before.
I have never appreciated the flavor, and I think I just grew up recently.
That's fucking amazing, dude. I've been whiskey boy my whole life.
It's probably because I finally have a girlfriend. I'm all grown up now. But
Well, I don't know if you're grown up, but you do finally have a girlfriend for the first time.
I'm
so
on
that's
my
good.
way. I'm on my way to being a full-fledged adult. I'll be doing my taxes soon. Not this year.
I don't
maybe
think
next
so,
year.
Coop. I think it'll always be the same as it's always been. Together, we make one grown up.
Well, I think they say that. Well, I don't know about one whole grown up. Together we make a maybe late teens,
gay couple.
early 20s.
Oh.
No, that's something completely different.
sorry. A straight gay couple. Straight
A
up.
straight up gay.
Straight up. No.
We should probably drink for that.
Something. Yeah.
Drink.
Cheers.
Cheers,
Oh,
everybody.
shit. Yeah. Cheers.
First insensitive remark of the new year. Well, at least on
Happy New Year,
At least that's been
everybody.
recorded.
I spilled twice. One drink I spilled 2 times. I got a problem. It's the tin. Whatever in that. This is a tequila drink too.
It's giving you an early onset Alzheimer's.
Is my face changing color? What if
No,
I
not
die
yet.
during this episode?
Well, then I'm going to have to come back and clean your body up tomorrow because I have to let some dogs out after we're done recording here, or else they're going to poo-poo and pee-pee all over the floor. But what are you doing with that now?
Have we shown this yet?
It's been in the background of some stuff, but I don't think we've officially shown it. That is our new, well, not new logo, but we got a printout of our logo to
Wait,
go
is my
on the
hair on
wall.
Right side?
No, it's on the right side, but in the picture it's on the left side.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Like this?
Yeah, it looks exactly like it.
Is it?
Close enough. I don't know, maybe you started cutting your hair different since that that
I
portrait
haven't
was
cut it.
done.
Is the problem? It's
Oh, that'll do it too.
getting too long. Who's handsomer? If you're watching on YouTube, tell us who looks more handsome in the photo, not in real life, because I know I am. But in the in these drawings, who's more?
My mom tells me I'm handsome.
If you're watching on YouTube, we have a sign up in front of the lens. I'm going to pull the sign away, and it's going to look exactly the same in real life.
Ta-da!
Cool sign. Sorry. All right, let's get into this. I love this sign, dude. It's so cool you got those made.
Me too. Yeah, I've got one in the apartment and then the better one we brought here.
Yeah, we got to put it up.
I know.
I love that we got it and then we just didn't put it up.
I don't.
We're moving.
Are
Are we allowed to talk about that?
I'm not sure.
The company's moving to a new place?
I guess we'll
I
find out.
don't think we're allowed to.
I guess we'll find out once we get in trouble for this episode coming out.
Yeah.
Born on January 17th, 1922 in Oak Park, Illinois, Betty Marion White was an early television pioneer with a career spanning 9 decades and 3 marriages.
Fucking A.
9 fucking decades.
That's crazy, dude.
Betty was the greatest thing since sliced bread, which she actually predates by 6 years, as sliced bread wasn't commercialized until 1928. So she was older than sliced bread.
She's older than sliced bread. That's awesome.
Yeah. Betty and her family moved to Alhambra, California in 1923 when she was just a little over a year old.
Alhambra?
Yep.
I lived there.
You did?
Yeah, for like a year.
Oh, I
Stayed
didn't
in
know you
Alhambra.
used to live there.
Yeah. I was
I don't
there
think
during
I've
the
ever even
riots.
been there.
During the LA riots.
Wait, like in the early 90s?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In 1929, the Great Depression hit the U.S., making life more difficult than it already was, considering this was long before internet porn and DoorDash food deliveries. In search of work, the Whites packed up and moved to Los Angeles, which that
What
statement...
do you mean the whites?
I was going to say that statement can be taken in a handful of different ways. To make ends meet, Betty's father, Horace Logan White, built crystal
didn't
radios.
drink.
I said
You said the whites.
all right.
Delicious.
To make ends meet, Betty's father, Horace Logan White, built crystal radios which he would sell anywhere he could. With widespread poverty leaving people with very little disposable income, Horace would frequently have to trade the radios in exchange for food or other goods, including dogs.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
When I was doing the
trade
research,
dogs?
he would trade the crystal radios that he made for stuff, and on at least one occasion he traded the crystal radio for dogs, but it's unclear whether that was for dinner or companionship. I'm hoping it's companionship, because I don't like to picture Betty White eating a dog.
I've never seen her with a dog.
Oh, fuck.
And one of the last things she was saying before she died was...
Holy shit, I hope I get to eat a dog on New Year's Eve.
No, she said the key to why I am living so long was because I stay away from the green stuff. She doesn't eat vegetables. So
Are you sure she wasn't talking about weed or money? She definitely smoked weed.
she was high all the time and
Yeah.
was rich.
Yeah, okay, she didn't eat vegetables. Maybe she did eat dogs.
I think she did.
Allegedly. Betty's first exposure to the world of entertainment came on December 22nd, 1930, on the radio show Empire Builders. Betty played the role of...
1930?
1930.
Fucking crazy.
She was like 8 years old. Betty played the role of a depressed orphan suffering from chronic pain after an accident that injured her and killed both of her parents. In the radio drama, the precocious little cripple helped swarm the heart of a self-absorbed bachelor just in time to save Christmas.
It's a Christmas movie.
Well, radio play. Before becoming one of the most beloved and vulgar old smoke shows in Hollywood, Betty had aspirations of being a forest ranger. Unluckily for Betty, but lucky for us, a penis was a required piece of equipment for rangers in the late 30s and early 40s, so she pursued a career in writing instead. I thought that was kind of dumb that to be a forest ranger, you had to be a dude. Maybe just so you could pee standing up.
You had to be a dude to do a lot of things back then, right?
Yeah, quite a bit.
And it's still hard to do dude stuff now if you're a woman.
Yeah, because men are better at everything. Betty got her feet wet in the world of acting when she wrote and starred in Graduate. That wasn't insensitive. Betty got her feet wet in the world of acting when she wrote and starred in a graduation play at Horace Mann School. The experience led to a passion for performing, which continued for the rest of her life. After graduating from high school in 1939, Betty found work as a model along with an acting gig at the Bliss Hayden Little Theater.
Wow.
While Betty was busy...
Good for her.
It was very good for her. While Betty was busy entertaining folks in California, an angry little man with a grudge against the world and a serious addiction to cocaine eye drops rose to power in Germany.
Here she is. At that time.
Right? Wait until you hear what studio executives were saying about her during that time.
In this picture, she's 15.
I mean, you could do a overlay, isn't it?
Yeah, but it'll be a whale penis, so...
Fuck.
There she is.
So, right here, whale penis.
Yeah.
Right here, Betty White. So while Betty was busy entertaining folks in California, an angry little man with a grudge against the world and a serious addiction to cocaine eye drops rose to power in Germany. And that man was Adolf Hitler, and he was fucking up Betty's plans.
Holy shit. She hung out with Hitler?
No. She was in California and Hitler was in Germany.
But did they hang out? Don't
you dare accuse Betty White of hanging out with Hitler. She had cooler friends than that. Hitler was a fucking nerd.
I gotta look this up.
I can guarantee that Betty White...
She's 100 years old, dude. She might have hung out with Hitler.
Well, she might have hung out with Jesus, too.
Okay, well, I'll search that, too. Continue.
After... I can tell you the answer to both of those questions is no.
The answer is yes, maybe.
It's not yes, maybe. It's no. After the U.S. entered World War II, the young starlet knew she had to do her part for the war effort, so she put her career on hold and joined the fight. She's a World War II veteran.
Holy shit.
In 1941, Betty joined the American Women's Voluntary Services, which provided support services such as message delivery, ambulance driving, firefighting, and even dog sledding teamsters. Betty's first assignment was driving a PX truck filled with supplies to the bivouacs in the Hollywood Hills, and then at night she would help organize parties for the soldiers being shipped overseas. So by day, she's delivering equipment, like day-to-day type equipment that you would find at a grocery store or something like that to the soldiers. And then at night, she's partying it up to make these guys feel good before they have to go overseas and
what do you mean
get
by feel good?
mowed down on the beaches of Normandy.
So she would mow them down before they got mowed down at the beach.
Betty White was not a whore. She was not.
Did she not sleep? She never slept with anyone?
I don't think.
Did she have kids?
It's an excellent question. We'll address that in part 2.
Well, I got to find out if she fucked Jesus or not first, and then we'll look up if she has kids.
Pretty sure Jesus died a virgin. Even though, I don't know. He was hanging around with Mary Magdalene. She was a prostitute, so...
Okay, well, I don't know if she hung out with Hitler or not, but check this picture out. Oh, wait, you can't see it, huh?
Well, the computer's facing away from me.
Who is that? Is that Hitler and Jesus? No, it's Hitosh and Jesus.
Hitosh? Who the fuck is Hitosh?
Some German guy.
Oh, I've never heard that name before. After Hitler blew his brains out and Japan got nuked, Betty returned to Tinseltown looking for work. She made the rounds at the local movie studios, but was repeatedly turned down for not being photogenic.
What?
Right?
She was a babe.
These motherfuckers are saying that she wasn't photogenic. This is a goddamn lie, and those studio executives should be dragged into the streets and beaten until they piss blood.
I agree. She didn't hang out with Jesus, but she hung out with two guys named Joses that were buff.
She didn't bang Jesus, but she hung out with some dude named Jesus that sold her weed. Hey, fuck, we should probably drink for that too.
Okay, drink. Oh, because the weed joke. Good one, Coop. What is this?
What's what?
This is a picture of Betty White shaking Hitler's hand.
No, it's not.
On BBC News.
No, it's not. It's a photoshopped picture of Betty White shaking Hitler's hand.
Maybe it's her mom. Or maybe it's just a picture of a lady.
That's just a picture of a lady shaking Hitler's hand.
Okay, well, I searched, did Betty White hang out with Hitler? And there's a picture of a woman shaking Hitler's hand, so I think that's Betty White. Here it is. So I'm pretty sure they shook hands at least. Maybe they didn't hang out.
How dare you say that about Betty White? She would have kicked Hitler in the balls.
Here's a picture of them together when she was young.
I am actually 100% positive that that's not Betty White, because Betty White
She wasn't Jewish?
was a teenager around that time, and that is a little girl. And Joel, if you knew the difference between a teenager and a little girl, you wouldn't have to register on a certain online website and walk around and tell all of your neighbors, like, hi, my name's Joel, I'm supposed to tell you that I live in the neighborhood. Since her attempts at getting on the silver screen failed, Betty started looking for radio work.
Silver screen.
That's exactly what happened to me. Is I knew that I wasn't pretty enough to be on camera, so I started doing stuff with my voice, and now I'm on camera anyway.
I thought it was because you sucked at playing guitar.
No, that's why I got into the film industry, was because I sucked at playing guitar, and it turns out I suck at the film industry too. So I'm doing what everybody is doing, which is a podcast.
Mm-hmm. But
there are way too many goddamn podcasts out there. The market is getting so fucking saturated.
But that's everything. That's movies. That's.
Yeah, well, that's
when you go to buy chicken. There's so many options for chicken. Everyone's making chicken. But everyone's making chicken. Everyone's making beef.
Anybody can make chicken.
Everyone's making
anybody
movies.
can make beef.
Anybody can make a movie. It's just gonna suck.
Yeah. So, since her attempts at getting on the silver screen failed, Betty started looking for radio work.
Was this before or after she met Hitler?
This was after she strangled Hitler to death with her bare hands.
Oh, that'd be cool.
That's how he actually died.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that.
No. People believe the mainstream story where he took a cyanide. He took a cyanide pill and shot himself in the head. Oh, you're talking about him getting machine gunned by Eli Roth in a movie theater.
Yeah. It's so crazy that Eli Roth killed Hitler, right?
He looks so fucking good for his age.
It was so cool they released that footage later.
Yeah, and it's such high quality English, too, and it's in color.
Yeah. Gorlami.
Scrappy Coco.
Francis de Coco. Wait, no.
I thought it was Scrappy Coco.
Scrappy Coco? No.
I don't know. It's been a long time since I've seen it.
Francis de Coco.
The radio route proved to be more successful, and her first jobs included reading commercials and playing bit parts on radio dramas.
Gorlami.
For her trouble, she was paid around $5 per show, which I think back then was, probably roughly minimum wage.
$4 a show?
$5 a show. Maybe it was a little bit, depending on how many shows she did per day.
$30.
So that, maybe that wasn't bad
so that's
for the
minimum
time.
wage after taxes.
She was still living with her parents at the time, so she didn't need a whole lot of money.
How old was she?
At that point, let's see.
When's the first time she had sex?
I hate to say
three?
But that wasn't. Betty White is not a whore.
Drink.
Betty White is a strong, empowered woman, and she has respect for herself.
That girl.
This is a memorial, Joel.
That girl probably raped a shit ton of men.
Right.
Have you seen the fucking video where when who's the
that was a good Jimmy Fallon impression. What?
Wait, I don't know what that was. I think we should drink in case it was racist or something.
I think it might have been. I have no fucking idea.
It's the tequila that's poisoned. Cindy Crawford. I was going to say, who's the hottest model of all time?
I would say Cindy Crawford, yeah.
She was trying to do a TV show at one point. Do you know about this? I did a deep dive because I love Chris Farley. But she started a TV show that they did like one season and no one cared.
Well, just like her acting career.
Because she's dumb. Yeah.
Very pretty, though. I'm not drinking for that.
She isn't actually dumb, though. When I watched the show...
She's been fairly successful. She was like... I was no joke.
I made a joke about models just now. She was smart.
Okay, the majority of models are fucking retarded, but I don't know about Cindy Crawford's intelligence.
You like
One thing
models?
I will say...
What? You like retarded models?
No, I said the majority of models are retarded. That's why
What models are you looking at?
Like all of
Down
them.
syndrome models? What are you into?
No, not actually retarded.
What are you into, bro? Just
Cindy Crawford, for one thing. I was obsessed with Cindy Crawford. I wrote it.
Do you know she's still hot?
Oh, God, yeah, she is. Holy shit. Yeah, she's
a
still
babe,
super fucking hot. I was obsessed with Cindy Crawford when I was growing up to the point that I actually wrote a letter to her fan club and got an autographed picture of her.
What are you fucking talking about? Hold on.
No, I'm dead serious.
This is why these tangents are important. What are you talking about? You sent a letter to Cindy Crawford?
I wrote a letter.
You sent a letter to Cindy Crawford?
Yes.
Be honest. You really did?
Yeah, no, I just flat out said it. I'm dead serious. You can ask.
This isn't a bullshit?
No, you can ask my mom or my sister.
Is that why you dressed up like a woman when you were a kid?
No, that was something else.
What was that about?
That was.
You were trying to dress up like Cindy Crawford, weren't you?
No, my mom wanted two daughters instead of a daughter and a son. So it was just this. It was this
I'll
whole.
Be honest.
I'll be honest
too.
Thing.
I'll be honest too. When I saw the photo, I thought you kind of looked like her.
No, I had way too chubby cheeks.
Yeah, but like your outfit and the choices that you picked, the dress, the hair.
What are you talking about? I look like Elvira.
Like Cindy.
I look like a flat-chested Elvira.
It was like a flat-chested Cindy Crawford.
Okay, well now just, in a roundabout way, you just got me to admit to dressing up as a girl for Halloween one year when I was young.
Yeah.
Joel, seriously?
You look beautiful. You look like Cindy Crawford, I promise you.
That picture is never going to see the light of day, or I will quit this fucking show.
Oh, baby.
I will quit this show, and I will disappear into the ether.
Blackmail is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
God damn it.
What do I need? What do I need right now? Anyway, no,
you need for me to not release your manifesto, and I will release that shit and let everybody know how you really feel.
We'll be honest here. You were how old are you? 13? It was about 18. You're about 18 years old, and you. Well, looked,
between the ages of 13 and 18.
Yeah, you look just like Cindy Crawford. I swear, you did good. I'm proud of you. So wait, you sent Cindy Crawford a letter, and she talked to you?
I don't trust this conversation anymore because now I feel like you're trying to trick me into something.
Wait, you talked to Cindy Crawford?
No, I didn't talk to Cindy Crawford. I sent a letter to her like official.
I didn't say I talked to her. I said she touched me on the shoulder once.
I sent a letter to her official fan club because I was obsessed with Cindy Crawford when I was just coming of age.
Did you jerk off to Cindy Crawford like me?
No, I think I was actually a little too young for that.
You were about 18.
No, that was...
when you wore the dress.
And I wasn't. I was 13.
Still a teenager.
Still old enough to know better. But I just wanted to make my mom happy. I wanted her to be proud of me for once. But I did when I was young, I sent a letter to the official Cindy Crawford fan club. Cindy Crawford? And I got an autographed picture in return, and that was like one of my prized possessions growing up until I lost it.
And it was a real signature, not a copy?
It's been so long, it was a real photo print. I have no idea if the autograph was real. I mean, most likely it wasn't, because if it was just something that a fan club is going to mail out to whoever writes into them.
Did you bang Cindy Crawford? Just be honest. At least in your mind.
No, like I said,
you've never masturbated to Cindy Crawford photos?
No, because I was...
Or like the 1990s digital download that took 10 minutes to get one photo?
Are you talking about like the...
Dial-up?
Fair Game? I think it was called Fair Game, the movie that she was in with one of the Baldwin brothers. And
I never seen any movie she was in. I just saw the...
She whips out those sweater kittens.
She shows her titties?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen her titties.
That is the sole reason that I watched that movie, because that was when I was still a fan of hers.
The only reason why you're not gay.
Okay, you got a drink for that too.
Yeah, sorry, drink.
Well, you know another actress that was beautiful and had a killer set of knockers?
Betty White.
Good old Betty White.
You fuck.
Yeah, I did. How
her a video?
I didn't send her a video.
You sent her a video of you jerking off?
No,
I mean,
where the fuck are you getting this?
There's drugs in this.
Yeah, there's gotta be, because what I said is when I was like...
A letter, not a video.
When I was
sent a letter.
When I was like 10...
Well, that's the video.
When I was 10 years old, I sent a letter to her official fan club.
That's the...
and I got an autographed picture in return.
That's like the 2022 version of... A letter in the 90s is basically
a letter in the 90s is the 2022 version of sending some random person a video of you jacking off.
Yes.
We have very different opinions on print communication. Okay, so in your defense, in the letter, I did very, very
What did you
graphically
say?
describe.
You did?
What, no.
Come on. What did you say?
I
Come
have,
on.
dude. Honestly, I have.
You don't remember?
No, I have.
But
I have
you
no
really
idea.
did this. This is
yeah,
not a...
yes. Why is this
so cool.
Fuck.
Fuck.
I don't know why this is like so shocking. I was a big fan of Cindy Crawford when I was younger, and
What were you a fan of? That she was
her
pretty?
fucking sweet ass titties.
It wasn't
No, she was
the
just
titties.
no,
had
she
a
was
beautiful
just
face.
Yeah, she was just super pretty. I was just
You just thought she was so pretty and you liked her. You thought she was nice.
well, I had no idea if she was
That's
nice or not. I
innocent.
just thought she was pretty.
That's innocent. I like that.
I was just coming of age and realizing what girls were, and I was like,
In,
oh, this
in
girl
your
is
mind, that was your
exceptionally
first
pretty.
girlfriend, and now you finally had your second one.
Hey, if Cindy Crawford is my first girlfriend and Katie is my current girlfriend, I've been doing pretty fucking well for myself.
You're crushing it.
That's
Dude.
that's quality over quantity as far as I'm
crushing it.
concerned.
You're doing great.
Well, just forget all the other potatoes that I had relationships with. No, they weren't all potatoes.
Hey, I'm not a potato. I might look like a potato on the outside, but I'm a French fries on the inside. All right, Betty White. Sorry, everybody, for this fucking tangent.
All right, so Betty White is getting paid $5 per show to do radio ads and a little bit of singing here and there. Although she was getting steady work on the radio, Betty still had a desire to be on camera. To break into the industry, she began taking absolutely any role or appearance she could find, which is a good way to get into the industry. These roles were often for little to no money, just because she was passionate about
Well,
about
that's what you
performing.
do.
Yeah. For me, I do pretty much only that. That's because of my passion and my stupidity. This route landed her gigs on shows such as Blondie, The Great Gildersleeve, and This Is Your FBI.
How many letters did you send to Cindy Crawford?
Just one. And I got the picture in return, and that was all that I needed.
Lie detector says that was a lie.
Her hard work paid off, and in 1949, she was given her very own radio show called The Betty White Show.
Oh,
A
sick.
little on the nose, but Betty's big break also came in 1949 when she landed a role on Al Jarvis's TV variety show, Hollywood on Television. Betty started out as a sidekick to Jarvis, singing songs and ad-libbing jokes 6 days per week for the next 4 years. In 1951, her performance on the variety show earned her her first of many Emmy nominations.
KNBH on NBC. Here it is. 1949.
Oh, you found it?
Yeah. She's hot.
Betty eventually took over hosting duties in 1952 after Jarvis left the show, and she continued to host Hollywood on Television for 2 additional years. Her natural talent and charisma were a hit with the audience and led her to her next big break, a TV show called Life with Elizabeth. Life with Elizabeth was pretty much like I Love Lucy.
Have you seen Face Off?
No, haven't heard of it. Is that
It's a
movie with
John Travolta?
Castor Troy and
I
I have seen Face Off so many goddamn times.
you know Travolta's wife?
Kelly Preston?
Wait a minute. Did you send her a letter too?
No.
Betty
yet.
White in 1949 looks just like John
Travolta's wife?
yeah.
Really?
Yeah, look.
Kind of. So for the listeners at home, right here is a whale penis, and right there is Betty White. I feel like the overlays are a little bit more professional. Life with Elizabeth was a domestic comedy based on characters from Hollywood on Television.
I'm just going to tell you this now just because I like to fuck with you. Wherever you say a whale penis, it's not going to be there. It's going to be where you say the other thing is.
All right, that still works. Betty played the title role of Elizabeth, with actor Del Moore playing her husband Alvin. The show was a low-budget comedy similar to I Love Lucy, where Elizabeth and her husband frequently get themselves into predicaments. And from what I could tell, it was primarily Elizabeth causing problems that Alvin had to solve. And similar to I Love Lucy and The Honeymooners, where it was like thinly veiled domestic violence under the guise of comedy. Life with Elizabeth would always... What?
Isn't there like a new I Love Lucy movie out or something?
Yeah, there is.
With the fucking villain from James Bond?
Which
the
one?
villain from James Bond, Skyfall. Javier Bardem is playing fucking...
Lucy?
Lucy, yeah.
Holy shit. He is such a good fucking actor. It's like he can just...
Yeah. He looks good in the blonde.
Turns into any character that he wants.
Did you send Lucy a letter?
I have never thought Lucille Ball was attractive. I was even confused.
She seems like your sister right away. Not yours, but like...
What the fuck is that supposed to mean?
I mean,
my sister is a goddamn angel. I mean, she was super mean to me growing up. She's really nice to me now, though. So back to Betty White, which
Betty White would have been a hotter fucking Catwoman.
This is one of the more impressive things about her life at this stage.
When she was 18?
No, she was in her late 20s at this point. Life with Elizabeth would always end with Alvin solving whatever problem Elizabeth had caused and saying his catchphrase, which was, quote, "I shall leave you at this point, Elizabeth," which doesn't quite have as much of a ring to it as "Bang Zoom to the Moon," like from The Honeymooners. Mm. Alvin would then walk out of the frame, and the show's announcer would say, "Elizabeth, aren't you ashamed?" And Elizabeth would slowly nod, but then get a sneaky grin before vigorously shaking her head no. Which I can definitely picture Betty White doing that. It's also kind of a sign of the times that...
Vigorously.
The Honeymooners, I Love Lucy, and Life with Elizabeth were all about... Actually, no, The Honeymooners was just about an abusive relationship kind of disguised as a comedy. It was Jackie Gleason just threatening to beat the shit out of his wife. In a funny way, though. In a funny way.
That sounds awesome.
It was a huge show. You would definitely recognize it if you saw a clip from it.
Who else have you sent a letter to?
One of these days, Alice Bang Zoom to the Moon. I've sent a few death threats to politicians.
In the last 5 years, how many letters have you sent to people?
None. The last 5 years, are you including emails or like actual handwritten letters? Because I stopped sending...
I'm talking about cutting out each letter from a magazine and sending it to someone.
No, a ransom letter. Oh,
yeah.
I mean, as many as I need to until the family doesn't pay, and then I execute the child. That's just how this business works, Joel. Are you familiar with podcasts? That's a big part of the job.
You're out there doing the dirty work. I'm just here switching the show. That's all I do.
Betty's work on Life with Elizabeth was groundbreaking. It was one of the few shows with a woman in full creative control in front and behind the camera.
In front and behind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In 1952, her performance and production work earned her first Emmy Award nomination, which is especially impressive considering she was only 28 years old and still living with her parents.
And got an Emmy.
Nomination. In 1954, Betty began hosting her own daily variety show, also called The Betty White Show, which it's separate from the radio show that was called The Betty White Show, but over the course of her career, she hosted like 4 different shows called The Betty White Show, because she was fucking awesome.
That's fucking sweet, yeah.
In each episode, Betty would sing, interview guests, and perform skits. The show was an instant hit and propelled her career even further forward. Betty was once again in full creative control of her show and continued breaking ground in the entertainment industry. Betty used her position to hire a female director, which was extremely uncommon at the time, as well as casting the first black performer on a variety show.
Wow.
And it didn't go over well. One of the Betty White Show's
That was before Mr. Rogers?
Oh, yeah, way before. This is still during, like, the Jim Crow era. The tail end of the Jim Crow era.
Before we landed on the moon.
Yeah, before we landed on the moon. If we ever landed on the moon. We'll get into that on the Con Men podcast. One of the Betty White Show's regulars was...
We did land on the moon.
Yeah, I know
we just faked a couple shots.
Well, you got to get those those fucking pickup shots. If you don't get it the first time, I mean, you were in the industry, you know.
Yeah.
One of the Betty White show's regulars was a performer. One of the Betty White show's regular performers was a tap dancer named Arthur Duncan. His inclusion on the show did not sit well with television stations in the South who were still living in the tail end of the Jim Crow era. Which, I mean, the majority of America was still living in the tail end of the Jim Crow era at this point.
Who's that?
Jim Crow, he was this really progressive politician. No, it's just a way to talk about the really, really bad racist times in America's past, or the tail end of it.
So when you say Jim Crow, you're saying racist.
During segregation and when there weren't...
Who's Jim Crow?
It's just a term that they used for it. Jim Crow wasn't an actual person. I think it was based on some character. I'm sure one of our listeners
When was he born?
I don't think he was ever born because he was a fake character.
Did you write him a letter? Sorry, go ahead.
So the stations in the South were threatening to boycott the Betty White show if she left Duncan on the show.
Okay. So Jim was out there just fucking shit up.
Jim was just out there like what's his name? J. Jonah Jameson from Spider-Man, like, throwing his hat on the ground and stomp on it. And I want Arthur Duncan off this show. When faced with the threat of being boycotted by the Southern TV stations, Betty replied, quote, "I'm sorry, but, you know, he stays. Live with it." She was just like, fuck you. I'm keeping Arthur on the show.
The black guy.
Yeah. She then doubled down and began giving Duncan even more airtime. So not only did she not back down and take him off the show, she was like, no, fuck you. I'm going to give him even more airtime.
That's fucking sweet.
Because fuck you.
Because he's a fucking real person.
Yeah, and also...
what year is this?
This was in 1954.
What a beast, dude.
Right? Like, this is back when doing something like that could ruin your entire fucking career.
Get you killed.
It could get you killed also. And she was like, no, fuck you. I'm leaving him on the show. I'm not only leaving Arthur Duncan on the show.
Back then. And racist as fuck. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why they call them the good old days.
Drink.
Yeah,
God,
that was fucked
Coop.
up. No, hey, I am showing respect for all the cool shit that Betty White did. And I have to say some stupid things every now and then. Or else I'm just way too boring. I'm still boring. Cheers.
Dude, that's fucking cool. I didn't know this. First black dude on any TV show?
First black guy on a variety show.
Okay.
And also, like, that was creating an integrated cast, which integration was not big back in those days.
And she was fully supportive of it. And she was like, fuck you, motherfucker.
Extremely supportive of it. And she had hired a female director for the show.
Which was like, what the fuck?
Which was like a big fucking deal because that... And not only that...
I think the director percentage in 2021, when I looked this up, was 8% are women.
Well, yeah, because since the 50s, we've realized that...
For men.
Since the 50s, we've realized that they're just not very good at it.
Oh, God.
Okay, I'm only...
This is like the
I am only...
I know.
No. I am only talking shit about... What's her name?
Lana Wachowski.
Well, the Wachowskis now. No, I stand by my statement that the Wachowskis went downhill after The Matrix, and by The Matrix, I mean the original Matrix movie.
Yes, I would agree.
I mean, Cloud Atlas was absolute trash.
I hated that movie.
Jupiter Rising, Jupiter Ascending, or something like that?
That's the one with...
Absolute trash.
That's the one with
I think it had Magic Mike.
Guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that movie was absolute fucking trash.
I haven't
also.
seen that movie.
Dude, so like the main hero of the movie is cruising around on laser rollerblades. Rollerblades haven't been cool since they weren't cool in the 90s. Like, rollerblades have never been cool. And they're going to give the lead character... No, Rollerball was fucking trash, too. The one with the guy from American Pie?
Are you fucking serious?
The one with the guy from American Pie and
the guy that directed
Rebecca
Starship
Romaine?
Troopers made that movie.
Paul Verhoeven made Rollerball?
Yes.
It was his first bad film.
And his last.
For a reason. I did not like Rollerball. I liked Rebecca Romaine because Rebecca Romaine was the model that I got obsessed with after Cindy Crawford.
Rollerball sucks. But if you're like if you want to get nostalgic and just feel the same feels like RoboCop, Total Recall, Starship Troopers did, Rollerball does the same thing. It really does.
But
it sucks, but like
I didn't even like
the
it.
shitty. There's commercials in it, just like he does.
Are you sure you didn't just watch it on like TNT or some cable station, and that's why you think there's commercials in the movie? Did you?
Actually, I did. I watched it on TV like 10 years ago.
So as I was saying, one of the regular performers on the Betty White show was tap dancer Arthur Duncan, and she started getting threats from Southern TV stations saying they were going to boycott the Betty White show unless they took Duncan off of the show because they did not want an integrated cast. They didn't even want
From the
integrated
South.
schools at that
We're
point.
in the South now.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's gotten a bit better,
Yeah.
right? Yeah, it's gotten
Well,
better.
for us.
I mean, comparatively, it has definitely gotten a lot better. So when faced with the threat of being boycotted, Betty just said, "I'm sorry, but he stays," and she started giving him even more screen time just as a fuck you to everybody else.
That's so fucking
and
rad.
it launched Arthur Duncan's career. Like, not only did she keep him on the show, his appearance on that show launched his career to him becoming
ended
a
up being on
famous
more
dancer.
stuff. I'd go down on her even now.
That would probably taste. Well, I mean, it probably tastes.
I don't
like
care what it
formaldehyde.
tastes like. She deserves it.
I mean, before now, it probably would have tasted like mothballs. But God bless her. She's a beautiful woman. So after doubling
I think
down
we
and
should
giving
drink
to
to that.
I mean,
That-
probably. Fuck.
Drink.
I have a feeling that I'm going to get shit for this episode.
Yeah, I need to ride home, by the way.
Wait, you do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, fuck. I gotta take
I
4 dogs out.
I need a ride.
How
man.
far away is it?
I'm out of money.
Out of money? I'm almost out of money. I spent
Yeah,
way
but
too much money on Christmas gifts.
I need a ride.
So, keeping Duncan on the show caused the show to struggle to attract sponsors, but Betty stuck to her guns. Duncan wasn't even aware of the controversy until years after the show was canceled. So she defended him and then didn't even bother saying like, "Hey, you being on the show is causing problems." She was like, "No, fuck you.
She didn't tell him.
I'm going to give him a shitload more screen time. Not even going to make him stress out about the fact that it's causing trouble for the show." She's a fucking badass.
That's fucking dope, dude.
And because she's a badass, as someone who accomplished so much over the course of her life, it is impossible to properly tell her life story in a single episode. So join us next week where we will conclude our memorial to Betty White in Betty White Part 2.
Conclude?
Conclude.
Or is it unclude or declude?
Conclude?
Doesn't that mean continue?
No, that means end it. We're gonna finish the story, conclude the story in the next episode.
Oh, okay. Oh, look at me. I'm looking at my phone.
You're just jealous because I have friends,
I need a ride.
and one of them happens to be a girl. Do you actually need a ride?
Yeah, I really need you to give me a ride home, man. I've been spending way too much money on liquor, women, and partying, and
How far is it? Because I've got
About 10 minutes.
4 different dogs that are all about to shit and piss all over
it's a
2
30-minute,
separate apartments.
It's a 30-minute routine total at the end. 15 there, 15 back. And you're going to have to come inside and say hi to my lady because,
I honestly don't have time for it right now.
dude, I need you right now.
I can't do it, Joel.
You got to do it, man. I need this.
God damn it.
Just let's have a couple shots. Well, if we're drunk before we go, you won't even know how long it takes. So
And I
just
won't
have a
even
couple
know how
shots.
much trouble I'm in for having shit and piss all over 2 separate apartments. That's it for this episode of the Iconoblast podcast. Join us next week for Betty White Part 2, and that's when we're going to be getting into the Golden Girls. And I would just like to say
fucking
to
really need a ride.
all of our listeners, Joel, drop it. We will talk about it off air. I just want to say to all of our listeners, thank you for being a friend.
I need a.
Jesus
I
Christ.
just really, I fucking really need a ride though. All right,
This has
just
been the
cut
Iconoblast podcast.
Yeah, follow us. No, just cut the audio because I need a ride.
We still have a job to do. This has been the Iconoblast podcast. My name is Matt Cooper. That is Joel Benner, and we're reminding you to never take anything at face value.
Follow us on Instagram.